everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Tyranny. Last episode, we happened to handle a few things here. Specifically, we basically just prepared up, got a whole bunch of spells on everyone, which is very nice. Though I look forward to getting more spells that I can experiment and have fun with. And now we have a couple of side quests to take care of. Let's start with here in South Haven. A small cliffside hamlet overlooking the rough western sea, this town serves as a port for goods from Lethian's Crossing bound for points south. Ships casting off for the continental mainland sometimes depart from here, finding the crossing easier than the road through the eastern mountains. Oh! Along the road you cross paths with a trio of tearsmen clad in the ragged remnants of noble finery. They appear haggard, hands blemished with dirt, faces sunburnt and peeling. The guard has been reduced to 2 men in dented bronze, each sporting mangy beards and visible exhaustion. One of the tearsmen notes your banner and hails you. With grim stoicism, the woman explains that she, her husband, and his sister travel from their home towards the bastard city to bend the knee to the Archon of Justice and swear eternal fealty to the Overlord's glorious rule. Unfortunately, they've been harried incessantly by highwaymen and Scarlet Course raiders alike, and fear they may not live to see their destination. I'm not going to attack them. Speak with them. Your weapons remain sheathed, even as you demand the refugees attend your authority as a Fatebinder of Tunon. Though the woman matches your gaze with steady resolve, the remainder of the quintet exchange nervous glances among themselves. Question them. Via a brief, largely uncontested interrogation, you learn that these 3 individuals are members of the old aristocracy of Sunder. They traveled to Stalwart after their homeland's destruction, but the Edict of Storms has driven them north again. Having lost very nearly everything short of their life, they finally accepted the inevitability of Kyrus' control of the Tears and home to find a place within the New Order. Escort them, attack them, accept their oaths. We will escort them. The group is hesitant to accept the terrifying honor of the personal escort of a Fatebinder, but they don't resist your insistence. You lead them to the bastard city, into the court of Tunon, Archon of Justice, who presides over the 3 nobles as they swear their loyalty and service to the empire of the Overlord. After the brief ceremony, one of the nobles approaches you and displays her appreciation in the form of a small gift. Sunder's Seal, Stone Skin, +3 armor stolen for 20 seconds, immunity to petrified. Interesting. We've got quite a bit of favor with Lethian's Crossing, quite a bit of favor with the Stone Sea villagers, and a little bit of favor with Tunon. Meanwhile, we're exhausted, increasingly gains a penalty to recovery over time during combat. Ugh, not pleasant. I imagine if we rest, we can get rid of that, which I think we have to do. So, let's do a quick... Not allowed in this area. Oh boy. Well, we need to speak with Cassandra, and we have others here. Oh, the Fatebinder! Hello, welcome to South Haven. A middle-aged man nods to you, clutching a small apple crate in one arm. A well-worn scratch of parchment pokes out of his bald fist, charcoal tally marks visible on its exposed surface. Well met, traveler. Sorry, I was counting these out for Hermond and didn't see you coming. Welcome to South Haven. You look just like the portrait. I mean, it's a flattering likeness, though you look more regal in person. I mean, Governor Jason Pendragon, it is an honor to meet a Fatebinder of your stature. As he awkwardly bows, several apples fall out of the crate and bounce out of his hands, rolling past your feet. Sorry. He sets the container down. Is there something I can do for you? Ahem. What do you do here? Me? Oh, I'm not anyone important, Fatebinder. I never took to a particular trade, and I'm not a man of letters. I just help out where I can. He gestures towards the crates behind him. I count the produce for Hermond. He lets me take a few fruits when I'm done. His words are interrupted by a rhythmic clanging of hammers against metal. He turns to look at its source atop a nearby roof, exposing a gap-toothed grin as he speaks. And, of course, the Forge-bound always need fresh water, so I'll pump it for them from time to time. I'm sure Cassandra appreciates that. I'm not familiar with South Haven. Tell me about it. I'm not sure what's really all that worthy of note. He scratches his chin, inadvertently smudging it with charcoal. We've got the river and the sea nearby, and live by what they bring us on the good seasons. Trade for what we don't have when our luck dries up. If you're bored already, good. I think Kyrus' forces were bored too, and seemed to ignore us. Some recruiters from the chorus came in years past and rounded up some folks who were out in the fields. I think they took Tolad's boy, and also the Corbett twins, but that was the worst of it. I've heard plenty of stories from elsewhere in the tiers. 3 folks gone, while a tragedy is nothing compared to the suffering seen elsewhere. We are fortunate, no denying that. How did this village end up staffed by Forgebound? Oh, their arrival was the biggest change we've experienced in a long time. It's been maybe 2 years? This guarded entourage came to town and we all thought we were being invaded, but nope, just a bunch of craftsmen booking passage out of the port south of here. When they arrived, they were all ill with fever and needed to rest. Since old Lyone's knocked off, we let the Forgebound use her house. We all assumed it'd be temporary, but either the ship they meant to board sank or they had a change of plans. A span later, the Forgebound were still here and making themselves at home. Didn't hurt that the villagers here were fascinated by their crafting magics. The youngsters in the village all lined up for lessons, and Kairos be praised, they saw fit to tutor some of them. They've been awful helpful. Spears and arrowheads for our hunters, plows for the fields, fishhooks for the rivers, even a hearth or two for those cold nights. They also help keep us safe and stand watch over the town. If I were younger, I'd ask them to train me. You can find the Forgebound just on the roof of the building behind me. Cassandra keeps her appearances working late, but rarely stays up with them at this hour. She's up before first light, after all. What do you know about Cassandra? She's incredible. She's no spring chick, but she can split a boulder better than any man in the village. You can tell her apprentices respect her just by the way they look at her. Everyone in the village feels the same way. If she speaks up, we take notice. She is intimidating, though. I wanted to give her a suggestion about some stone arrowheads she fashioned, but she looked really angry when I approached her. She was yelling at one of her students and another was on fire or something, so my timing was poor. There's lots I'd love to learn from her, but I'm too old to be taken seriously as a candidate. I need a place to stay until morning. Oh, of course, Finder. Philia lets me stay in her son's old room. There's a cot there you can use. Hey, we're rested. That's good. And now we'll look around. And thank you for the rest. I appreciate it. We did need it. Okay, can loot this box. Alright, keep exploring. Hyacine. You see a tall figure with a patchwork with a patchwork sash of animal pelts slung across her shoulder. The skin on her sunburned face melds with a pair of naturally flushed, freckled cheeks. She speaks energetically to 2 nearby villagers, animated in her depiction of a recent hunt. Oh, my throat. I had to crawl real low through the brush. Those critters have eyes like eagles, but are too deaf to hear their own farts. I got close enough to see its nose wriggling in the air. They can actually feel you coming that way, you know. But it was too late. One swift thrust later, it turned into dinner. She hears you approaching and spins around, spear held out playfully. Aha! Who goes there? Oh, apologies, Fatebinder. I had no idea you were visiting us. Forgive the jest. I've been burdened with an overabundance of energy since childhood. One way or another it comes out. What can I do for you? What can you tell me about the Forgebound? Fine folk, as far as I'm concerned. Everyone around here is better off with them. Cassandra and her students keep me supplied with fresh spear tips and arrowheads, so my life's never been easier. They spend most of their time in training, though. I think that's the real reason they're here, to pass on secrets from master to pupil in a safe place. Cassandra's a hard ass in more ways than one, but her students are better off for it. They certainly make short work of any of our requests. Nails, hooks, blades, whatever you can think of. Only old Lycus didn't take too kindly to their presence, but that's because he's a half-rate smith whose blades are as limp as he is in the sack. Anyway, I like them. I'm not too wild about the curfew they've demanded, but Cassandra insists that it's for our safety. I haven't seen any Brotherhood or bandits while out on my hunts, so it's not like we're less safe because of it. With a toothy grin, Hyacine offers a friendly wink as you approach. Fine day out, Fatebinder. Anything you need? What do you think of Cassandra? She's a tough nut to crack. She's been pounding steel for so long that she's forgotten how to hang up the hammer and enjoy other pursuits. I first got to know her after we got to talking about hunting implements. I think she saw something in my enthusiasm for it all, and we've steadily become pals. She's a much different person after she unwinds. Not that there's anything wrong with having a tough exterior. She's a master of napping, after all. You've got to maintain appearances. With a toothy grin, Hyacine offers a friendly wink as you approach. Fine day out. Cassandra's Gravelight tools seem unique. Any chance she'd part with them? Doubt it. All she ever goes on about is chisels, moils, flates, tampers. Who knew there was so much to know about wedges with handles? If you need tools, ask her. I bet she'll make them for you just to show off what she can do. But her tools... Seriously, those are probably the only things in this world she genuinely loves. Alright, farewell. See if there's anything else around here. Like some more loot. More potions that I never use. You'd think I'd learn. But, hey, that's how it goes with me. Nicodemus. Okay, must be up there. Yep, Cassandra, Master of Napping. Okay. Renox's Grace. Interesting. The infamous traitor captain... this is interesting. I mean, it's not like I'm ever going to wear it, but... Huh. A barrel-chested man surveys the areas with a stern expression, eyeing you nonchalantly as you approach. A large horseshoe mustache traces the top of his mouth before racing down to his chin. When he speaks, the bristles merely mask his lips. Well met, Fatebinder. What do you need? Who are you? Nicodemus, Cassandra's second. I've a few seasons under my belt, unlike these pups in the forge. He gives a sideways glance back towards the work area. I watch over things when Cassandra has better things to do, which is always. What do you need? What can you tell me about your leader? Tough but fair. Cassandra knows that teaching and napping are both acts of reduction. In the case of teaching, one chips away at ignorance. Some don't like her approach. Such fools are not fit for our guild. Why are the Forgebound here? Ask Cassandra. She gives the orders here. No point in me guessing at her meaning. That's all for now. Alright, one thing to loot here. And now we shall speak with Cassandra. A small group of Forgebound stand in conference around an older, gray-haired woman. Blue tattooed streaks trail down from her hairline, coming to rest upon a pair of eyebrows permanently fixed in a severe expression. Pair of eyebrows? Pair of eyebrows. She grasps a hunk of jasper and strikes it several times with a sharp piece of obsidian. The motion should feel rhythmic as you work the stone, as mundane as breath. Her sinewy biceps contract to control the force from each impact, keeping the jasper remarkably still. Listen to your senses. If the shape in your mind doesn't feel inevitable, then you're wasting your breath and my time. Noticing your approach, she halts her demonstration and waves off her apprentices. We'll continue this later. Fatebinder, I am Cassandra, Master of Napping. The Forgebound present are in my charge. She grants you a perfunctory nod. I know your time is limited, and South Haven is too remote for this meeting to be chance. What is it that I can do for you? How did you end up here in South Haven? As Master of Napping, it's my duty to build the forges that keep the others occupied. Bronze and iron are the guild's trademark, but stone's the foundation. When Kyrus' conquest began, my kin followed the armies into the tiers, and I led the efforts to build up Lethian's crossing. With our task at the crossing complete, there was naught to do after but return home. I barely made the long march south, so I decided to head towards the closest port, just near here, and planned to catch a boat back home. But the journey here was difficult. Brotherhood bandits ambushed us on the road. Her eyes narrow at the memory, and she rubs the left side of her abdomen. They fancied our forge implements and thought them fair payment for use of the road. I refused, and we brained them with our hammers. She cracks her neck with a quick tilt of her head. I cracked a rib or three, and some others in the party were wounded, so resting in South Haven seemed wise. The locals were overly accommodating, and I started wondering if I'd even live through the sea voyage home. So I decided to set up shop and teach here. Our temporary stay became rather permanent. Do you know a man named Caperton? Captarin? Oh, for fuck's sake. She rolls her eyes in a sudden loss of composure. A lovesick cub if I've ever seen one. He's helpful with hauling and odd jobs, but enough with his endless pining. Not that he's ever experienced love, as best as I can tell. He's well past fathering age, but probably couldn't find a vagina in a brothel. Wow. He mostly keeps his affections to himself, thankfully. He's harmless and always compliant if you yell loudly enough. Do you fancy spineless men? Have at 'em. You have hair. I thought all forge-bound shaved their heads. She permits a smirk for the briefest of moments. I've shaved my head for nearly every day of my life. I think I've earned a reprieve. She lightly smacks the back of an apprentice's head as he kneels to work. These idiots don't get that luxury. We have these traditions for a reason. If you waited into a forge fire all day, you'd know better than to grow a mop of wicks out of your head. And then I look at the guy with the massive mustache. He's gonna burn it off, isn't he? I thought Jaspers was master of napping. Jaspers? I thought officers of the court would be better informed, Fatebinder. There can only be one master of napping at a time. I'm not a corpse yet, despite the wishes of my apprentices, so the title remains with me. So what rank does Jaspers hold if he's not a master? Why are we even talking about Jaspers? The only title he's fit to wear is Master of Arrogance. He was a dutiful enough student, but I've heard the boasts he's made to my apprentices in private. He learned quickly, I'll give him that, but he was a long way off from attaining any kind of mastery. It takes at least a decade of consistently impressive work before the guild would allow for the title of master to be bandied about. If I drop dead tomorrow, there are a dozen others more qualified to inherit my title. What gave you this notion that Jaspers is the master of napping? Jaspers has claimed that title for himself. Mother? Fucker! She takes a hammer and smashes it against a nearby wall, sending fragments of it flying. The gall of that man! I'd cave his head in as an example were he here. She strikes the wall again for good measure. I have chisels older than him. He's far, far too young for such a rank. He of course had potential. I wouldn't instruct anyone who doesn't, but he seeks approval in people rather than in his own craft. Hardly a master's mindset. The guild will act on this. Making a false claim like that is a serious offense to our ways. As soon as I can, I'll pen a missive to my superiors. His arrogance will be disciplined. I'm here to retrieve Jasper's napping tools. Jasper's tools? What sort of nonsense is this? Good question. I'm starting to suspect I've been duped, and I'm guessing the only tools here are yours. To commemorate my 50 years with the guild, Zedenya made me a tool set of the most exquisite craftsmanship. No doubt that's what Jaspers has in mind. After we left Lethian's Crossing, I noticed the set was incomplete. Several key hammers and chisels, one of my best loops, all missing. At the time, I assumed the fault lay with me. The way to South Haven wasn't without its troubles, and I assumed I misplaced them during the shuffle. I would never have guessed that Jaspers would steal them from me, from his own master. If my knees were still good for sprinting, I'd chase down that ungrateful rake and pulverize his skeleton one bone at a time. Her rage seems to vanish with a shrug and a smile. And I suppose making tools is what I do best. Not like I can't replace what was lost, but those tools were a gift, and not even I can fashion sentimentality out of rock. I'm not sure how exactly I can help you with this situation, Fatebinder. What makes these tools so special? Zedenya fashioned them as part of a series of works inspired by some pre-war study into the Tidecasters and their ways. She took it upon herself to spend a year working only with the crystals and metals the casters used in their designs. My tools were some of her best pieces that came from that year of experimentation. I try not to make a big deal about having tools inspired by Tearsman magic, but they are the finest I've used. I guess the idea is that some of the moonlight's energy remains trapped in the business end of the tools. All I know is that with them in hand, I can work faster and with more precision and strength. In truth, I can do just fine with the lesser tools. As much as I adore the set Zedenya made for me, nobody can make a handle to fit my hand quite like I do. She picks up a small hammer and twirls it in her hand. But if Jaspers thinks he can claim the rest of my tools and pretend to greatness, that ungrateful wretch is dead to me. If my knees were still good for sprinting, I'd chase down that ungrateful rake and pulverize his Okay. I misunderstood the situation. The tools are rightfully yours. Thank you, Fatebinder. She visibly relaxes, as do several of her apprentices who quickly return to their duties. I'm glad we could clear up this misunderstanding, and I'm sorry that one of my own deceived you. As his instructor, I should have spotted the flaw in his scruples. The shame is mine that he was not cleft from our ranks sooner. I must go. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that if you really did that, so no thanks. We have those two in Lethian's Crossing. Wasn't there another one? Oh, right, the village of Flogston. Not far from the burning library, so I'm not going to be able to do that now. Either way, I think it's time we left. Is there a way out here? There is not. I'll just go down here. So, time I have left? Still some. I guess we can handle the other side quest. The Timbervale Village. Timbervale is a village of minor importance without any particular resource or craft of great value to Lethian's Crossing merchants. Even so, the Scarlet Chorus have deemed it a strategic location and intend to use it as a base of operations for control of nearby river traffic. There's Deserter's March, but we can't get to it now. Not until we complete some of the main quests here. Oh boy, things are hostile here. Free the settlers, kill the enemy soldiers. Well, looks like we have no choice but fighting.
Trouble is afoot.
Too easy.
All spells for you to cast. Cast something you couldn't actually reach.
On your knees, worm!
Wrath with Scarlet Chorus, Renown with Steadfast Insignia? Oh, right, Steadfast Insignia. That's the thing I'm using. But yeah, the Scarlet Chorus, oh, they are not liking me. Eventually I'll be able to get Scarlet Skin, which would be nice, but I wish I had Merciless. Sadly, I don't think I can get that. Hold on.
This'll be fun.
Oh boy, that's a big one.
On it.
Okay, I guess I don't have any choice here. Get fighting.
I can't move!
How about you throw out a rhyme spike? You know what? Ignite your brand. And you... Static charge.
Whatever you need.
Oh, you're petrified. I didn't even realize.
Ah, I'm terrible at this. How am I not dead yet?
That's effective, and... Okay, now we have more coming in. That was not the spell that we should have had.
I can't move! I can't move!
Oh, jeez, we got a whole bunch more coming in. Oh, this is going bad. We need all of these spells out here. You can do Freezer Burn Blast. Get it out there.
I can't move! I can't move!
You can do that one. Do it, please. We're a little overwhelmed here.
I can't move!
Holy crap. I have no idea what just happened, but I think we're kind of getting them.
Weapons like nipples on men. You
Oh, crap! I can't move!
can't.
I have no idea what spell that is, but it is powerful as hell.
I can't move! I can't move!
One more to kill. Oh boy! That was rough.
That wasn't so hard.
Much rougher than I expected. And we got one more here.
This'll be fun.
Wait, why are you using that? You should be using that. Okay, at least we're dealing with these beastmen. Okay. It looks like we've got some to kill up there. Okay, we can free these. These villagers have been tied up. Free prisoner. Okay. Oof, it is brutal here. Free these prisoners. And we got a couple more guards up top here to deal with.
Another battle. They look bad at making friends.
Get them all dead. Flames of justice. Ignite them. And you get a grounding core.
I will aid you.
You, I think, freeze them.
I'm terrible at this. How am I not dead yet?
Not exactly the most perfect location, but I'll take it.
Will do.
One more to kill.
I'm enjoying this a little too much.
This weapon is entirely worthless.
Almost got him. There we go. All the enemy soldiers dealt with. And prisoners free. Excellent. Mission accomplished. And Barrack leveled up. We're gonna give you a point in there. Bring it to 14. I like that. And as for here, let's see. Our south is critical. He gains a bonus to mind resolve. Bonus to any damage for everyone engaging him. Let's see. More defenders watch would be good. But I think I want to move on with here. I think this, Glory to the Bold, would be good. Because if I can get to this level, some of these would actually be very nice. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. Oh, no, all of you. Oh, that must be the aura that's pulsing there. Alright. Well, I think what we can do, we can make a quick trip back to Lethian's Crossing. We still have these other areas, Flogston, the Secluded Forge, and so on. But we'll go back to Lethian's Crossing. Report in that we completed that task. Probably sell some of this loot that we have. I don't think any of it is anything we need to save. That'll be it there. Just gonna get through the damn loading screens. Which take way too long. Okay, over here. Pretty sure none of this loot. An iron axe is impressive, but no, I'm pretty certain. Yeah, I'm going to hold on to Renox's Grace because it's named, even though it has no real better value to it. It must be part of something. It's the only thing that makes sense. The chorus are dead and their hostages were freed. Thank you. Every deed done in the name of the disfavored is a deed that helps solidify our hold in the hearts of the Tearsmen. Indeed. Mission accomplished. Now, merchant, you. I have some things to sell. Let's see here. So, I guess I'll sell... sell that, sell that. Let's see. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. Going to hold on to that because it may be useful for someone. Sell that. Sell that. And that's it there. I kind of don't want to use Sunder's Zeal, interesting as it is. And then sell the rest of this bit of loot. Trade. Bam. Can we use this on anyone? I guess I can give this to you. Okay. And with that, I think I'm going to end this episode here, because it's gone on about long enough. Next episode... I think next episode we'll make our way to dealing with the Bronze Brotherhood, because I feel we kinda need to. Something must be done with them. But that'll be in the next episode, so until then, I am Chester44. That is Jason Pendragon, Barrick, Lantry, and Ebb. This has been a Let's Play of Tyranny! And I shall see you all next time.